One of the representative roofing materials of Japanese architecture is Hiwada, cypress bark. Hiwada-buki, cypress bark roofing, is a refined roofing method using tree bark, found nowhere else. The Hiwada material is harvested from standing hinoki cypress trees that are about 80 years or older. The craftsmen who harvest Hiwada are called Motokawashi. The Motokawashi inserts a spatula at the lower part of the standing hinoki and gradually peels upward. They skillfully use ropes for footholds, climbing more than 20 meters up to strip the bark, a skill required of the Motokawashi. To preserve the tradition of Hiwada-buki, technical training is conducted, and successors are being cultivated. The most important thing in Hiwada harvesting is not to damage the tree. If the method is mistaken, the cells essential for the tree's growth could be destroyed. First, let's learn about the nature of hinoki. Trees live for hundreds, sometimes thousands of years, continuing to grow as they age. Let's look at the cross-section of a hinoki and identify its parts. From the outside inward, dark brown outer bark, yellowish inner bark, the cambium layer, less than 1 millimeter thick, and then the wood. Now, which of these contains living cells vital for the tree's growth? The harvested Hiwada corresponds to the outer bark. This consists of dead tissue that has finished its role and contains no living cells. But beneath it, the inner bark contains living tissues that store nutrients indispensable for the tree's growth. The most important cells are in the cambium, a thin dividing layer between the inner bark and the wood. This cambium is responsible for producing both inner bark and wood, playing an essential role in growth. Hiwada harvesting means taking only the outer bark, the part that has finished its role. The inner bark and cambium beneath it are the very life of the tree. Thus, Hiwada harvesting is a technique to peel only the outer bark without harming the inner bark or cambium. After the first harvest, Hiwada can be harvested about every 10 years. Harvesting without harming the tree ensures that Hiwada harvesting can continue 10, 20 years later and beyond, passed down to future generations. Harvesting Hiwada without damaging the tree and working high up on the tree requires advanced skills and mastery. Let's look at the tools needed for harvesting Hiwada. The basics are a wooden spatula for lifting bark, climbing ropes called buri nawa, also fury nawa, and a hatchet for cutting bark, 3 essential tools. The spatulas, in particular, are handmade by each craftsman. They are made from kanamenaki wood, a type of holly, Ilex rotunda, about 40 centimeters long. Though using two, one long, one short, can improve efficiency. The long spatula is mainly used near the tree base, where both hands can apply strength. The short spatula is used higher up or one-handed, depending on the task, allowing flexible work. The thickness or width of the spatula may also vary depending on the years since the last harvest or the tree's condition. Mr. Ono Koji, based in Sanoncho, Tamba City, has been designated as a preserver of Hiwada harvesting and selection techniques that support national cultural properties, and he is now devoting efforts to training young successors. Let's now see the actual harvesting of Hiwada.
それではまずはじめにヘラを入れるところですが、木は決して丸くないので、このようにへっこんでいる部分とか出ている部分があります。こういう出ている部分でなおかつ元の起こしやすいところを選んで、ここから入れていきたいと思います。
Trees are not round. Their surface has uneven textures. By sight and touch, one finds a slightly raised spot where the bark is lifting, the right place to make the first cut.
この木は、この辺からこう絹皮が残ってきます。でこういう場合はもう下から届かなくなるので、また上に上がってここでヘラを使ってやります。
After the second strip, you can freely insert the spatula where convenient.
この赤い部分、こういう赤い部分が出ているところから次のヘラを入れていきます。この赤い部分から下は生きているところなんで、この赤い部分から中にヘラが入らないように木に沿わしながら少しずつ起こしていきます。
The width of bark varies with each tree. There is no fixed size. Peel upward in sequence, letting strips hang like octopus legs. Now let's see how to tie the rope footholds. 2 rods called tegi are tied, and depending on how they're tied, They serve as footholds and safety supports.
まず手木の右側の上から一度巻いて、左の上から越してやって、自分の膝上の高さぐらい足をかける長さに調整して、左の上で右の上越して、これで登るロープのかけ方は完成です。
You alternately move and fix the tegi as footholds while climbing. The knotting method is basically the same.
腰綱の結び方ですが、一周回して作業しやすい間を取って、手木の内側の下から一旦回して、できた輪からロープを出してやって手木に引っ掛けます。これで体重をかけて作業します。
Since Hiwada is harvested around the entire tree, you must also move your body around while up there. Skillfully using ropes, you move around the circumference.
バランスが取れたら腰綱を外してロープを垂らします。手木を持ちながら左手を外し、左手は1本、右手は2本のロープを持って足で木を挟んでロープを外してやります。これで徐々に降りていきます。
Work continues at high places. Pass the swinging rope through bark strips hanging down like a curtain to make footholds. Next, secure the waist rope. Tie firmly. Balance your feet on the tegi, fix your lower body, and work safely. Again, skillfully move around the circumference with ropes. Work continues in 2-3 stages. The third stage is much higher and requires special caution. With that, the work ends. Carefully descend, using the swinging rope. First, untie the waist rope and let it down. Then hold the rope firmly with both hands and slowly descend to the ground. Around the harvested hinoki, strips of hiwada scatter. Gather them carefully, keeping top and bottom ends in order, bundle with bark cords, and carry them out. Let's see this whole process. The sorted hiwada is finally bundled into barrel-shaped bales called maru. For this, special tools are needed. 9 bamboo tubes called koro, 2 wooden frames, a measuring stick of 2 shaku 5 sun, about 75 centimeters, a large cutting knife, ogiri bocho, for trimming bark, a cutting stand beneath, and a whetstone to maintain the knife's sharpness. Using the koro, frames, and measuring stick, we begin by aligning the hiwada neatly. First, set up one wooden frame, place the first koro 2 shaku 5 sun away. Then place the third koro another 2 shaku 5 sun away, with the second frame in between. Place the remaining koro at equal intervals. These frames and koro form the base for stacking bark evenly. Let's show this again with a diagram. Set up one frame, then place the first koro 2 shaku 5 sun away. Place the second koro at the midpoint. Then another koro 2 shaku 5 sun from the first. Place the second frame between the first and third koro. Continue placing the rest at 2 shaku 5 sun intervals. This length, about 75 centimeters, is the width of the bale when completed. Eight bundles of 75 centimeters are made this way. Sometimes bales are made at 3 shaku, about 90 centimeters, in which case 7 bundles are made. we proceed with 2 shaku 5 sun. Stack the harvested Hiwada on the koro and frames with the outer, black, side down. Use the frames to pile evenly. Things to note: root end pieces should stick out slightly. And avoid letting curved bark protrude beyond the frame width. If bent, place it carefully so ends stay within the frame. Stack thicker bark near the frame, thinner on top. This helps when adjusting bale weight later. Finally, place the outer black surface facing upward. When cutting into 2 shaku 5 sun bundles, tie each bundle in 2 places for carrying. The koro already placed at intervals serve as tying guides. After tying, remove the frames, clean up extra bark, and finish neatly. Trim evenly from the root end. Always use a cutting stand under the large knife when chopping. Stand directly in front. Swing the knife vertically and squarely down. Finally, weigh the bundles. 1 bale, about 66 pounds, is tied together. Start with the thick bundle near the frame as the core, add thinner ones, adjusting weight. That's why the thicker to thinner stacking order matters. Thus, with spatula, rope, and skill, Hiwada is harvested, gathered, and tied. When completed, each barrel-shaped maru weighs about 66 pounds, and the work is done. This is the task of the Motokawashi. The work of the Motokawashi is a dialogue with nature. Above all, it is crucial to work without harming the tree. The harvested bark is used in important cultural properties and historic buildings. Be aware of your responsibility as a Motokawashi and work safely. The finish and durability of Hiwada roofing greatly depend on the quality of the harvested bark. Hiwada harvesting is an indispensable technique for preserving Hiwada-roofed architecture. Let us continue to preserve and pass on this skill into the future.